Home sweet home. Petco hosting the pennant fight for 7 critical games. Believe, and it shall come. Against Cincinnati tonight, Chris Young makes his first home start of the entire season. CY 1 run in his season's 10 innings. Manager of the Year, Bud Black, masterminding the race to be best in the West. And back home at Petco in San Diego. The San Diego Padres returning home for the final 7 home games of the season and open a 3-game weekend series against the first place Cincinnati Reds from the National League Central Division. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Pleased that you're with us. You know, they had a big the beer festival out there in right field, the park in the park, the Oktoberfest. Well, October's 1 week from tonight at San Francisco, and the Padres are hoping it'll be more than beer, some other kind of bubbly when they leave San Francisco a week from Sunday.
And hopefully the Padres get some good hops and barley, make any errors, and play some good baseball at home because they do have a good home
record. And we didn't rehearse this either. This is off the top of the head.
It just came to me. But hopefully there's one guy that swings the bat well here at home by the name of Adrian Gonzalez against these Cincinnati Reds.
And at Cincinnati, Adrian Gonzalez hit a grand slam home run and a couple of long bombs against these tough Reds pitchers.
And in this venue, which is Great American Ballpark, it's a place where the ball flies, but Adrian Gonzalez is going to hit the ball out of any ballpark. He's got power to all fields. And this is dating back to last year, Dick. Last 10 games against these Reds, a very nice record. But you know as well as I do, this is a different offensive type team being the Cincinnati Reds. They're number one in a lot of offensive categories. So this should be one heck of a series here at Petco Park with the Padres having that good home record.
Well, it is a terrific contrast as the Padres have the best home pitching in the National League, and the Reds are the best hitting team in the National League. A final note. Don't forget that the Padres have that 1 game in hand. They're a half game behind Atlanta in the wild card, half game behind the Giants for the National League West, but do have an extra game in hand. As we take a look now at the starting pitchers for tonight's game at Petco. Bronson Arroyo, he is the workhorse. Another 200-inning season for the big right-hander as he seeks his record-high 17th win. And Chris Young, fingers crossed there, his first start at Petco this year, only his 3rd appearance of the season with that shoulder surgery. And our pitching matchup, as always, brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 6:10 right. We're about set to go. And our closed captioning, as always, brought to you by Corky's. Don't let termites steal home, especially your home. Call Corky's at 1-800-901-1102. Corky's. Chris Young, the former Princeton star, All-Ivy, basketball and baseball out of the Dallas area, Highland Park. And there are his numbers and the starting pitcher profile brought to you by the Mark Condos. Luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300,000s. Go to the marksandiego.com. 10 innings. Of course, the first 6 were in Arizona, second game of the season. He was scheduled to be the opening day pitcher here at Petco Park and injured the shoulder surgery, as he also went under the knife last year for shoulder problems. Long, difficult rehab trail for Young, and he's fought his way back into the lineup. And what a key outing this is for him tonight in the starting lineup that he will face for Dusty Baker's Cincinnati Reds, loaded with power. Brought to you by Floor Trader. Pay way less for your flooring. Take it home today. Now open in Lemon Grove. Phillips, Cabrera, Jay Bruce in right field. Cleanup man Scott Rolen, the veteran. Johnny Gomes in left. And look who's at first base. Ramon Hernandez, also a catcher for the Reds. He's in because Johnny Votto, one of the top candidates for most valuable player in the National League, is suffering from a sinus condition, and this is the third game that he has missed.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy in Joey Votto that, he's swinging a hot bat, MVP numbers, so you never know with his bat out of the lineup. That might be a break for San Diego.
Drew Stubbs hitting 7th. Ryan Hannigan, the catcher, 8th, and Arroyo on the mound for Dusty Baker, who continues to see his teams, no matter where, rack up wins. He's the 25th major league manager in history, 1,400 wins. Chris Young, he'll be watched closely. First pitch is in there at 85. He topped out at 86 last Saturday in St. Louis. Able to pitch 4 innings. Allowed just 1 run, and that was on a wild pitch. High fly ball into right field. Angling over is Ludwig. 1 away. Shortstop Orlando Cabrera comes up.
Well, according to Buddy Black, CY is going to be on a pitch count from 70 to 90. 75 would be a good range, but nice to see Chris twirl about 5 frames this evening. Remember last time in St. Louis, he threw 69 pitches, and the fastball started to dwindle a little bit, around 83 miles an hour, but it's all about location, and Chris felt very good about locating his fastball in that outing.
Gets a sign from Torrealba. Cabrera backs away from a strike on the inside corner. Barked out by Kerwin Danley, calling the balls and strikes. Cabrera's numbers, just 4 home runs. 1-1. It certainly changes the look of that Cincinnati Reds lineup without Votto in there. He normally would be on deck hitting third. Popped up and out of play.
Some other guys are going to have to pick up the slack. You're talking about a .323 average for Joey Votto. 35 home runs. He's driven in 106. My goodness, his on-base percentage is .423.
Second in average, second in home runs, third in RBIs, Votto. Slider in the dirt, 1-2. Padres have been very successful against Central teams this year. Line drive, base hit, just reached out and punched that one to center field, and Cabrera is on. And let's look at the Padres defense, brought to you by Easy Turf, synthetic lawns and putting greens. The best looking synthetic grass is now more affordable. Call 866 Easy Turf. Jay Bruce, the right fielder, moves into the third slot in the batting order. Hitting .275. Solid year, 21 home runs. These Reds score a lot of runs. But they also play in a division generous to the hitters.
Oh, yeah. All those ballparks. Hitters, when they go to the Central, if they play in the Central, they are just foaming at the mouth, waiting to get that bat and get to the batter's box, like Cincinnati, Houston, Chicago, Milwaukee.
Probably the fairest park of the bunch is St. Louis. All the rest are hitters' parks. Ground ball right over the glove of Gonzalez as it bounds into right field. Ludwig will get it back in, and Cabrera got a slow start. Will hold up at second base. Boy, a couple of quick hits here off Chris Young, and that one had eyes. The kangaroo over Gonzalez.
Well, just out of the reach of Adrian. And we take a look at the pitch from Chris. It was just a good old-fashioned fastball away. He topped it, shuffle off the bag, and to his right, station-to-station baseball for the Redlegs.
Brings up cleanup man Scott Rolen, the veteran, hitting .292, 20 home runs, 82 knocked in.
Well, that's a good year for Rolen. My goodness, for all the aches and pains that he has had in his career.
Foul back. 86 now on that fastball.
And Dick, you said a key word when you introduced Rolen to the batter's box, the veteran third baseman. Veteran Phillips, Cabrera, Rolen, Hernandez, Gomes. This is a team that has got guys that have a lot of big league experience, and they see that finish line, trying to clinch the Central.
Their magic number is 3 over St. Louis. The Cardinals won in Chicago today, so high pop-up. That's going to be back into the seats. So any combination of St. Louis defeats or Cincinnati Reds wins that add up to 3, and the Redlegs are in the playoffs. Dusty Baker's team starting today 7.5 games ahead of St. Louis. Infield set for 2. Couple of base hits for the Reds early. 1 out. Misses inside.
Chris Young is going to have to do that. His 86, 87 on the fastball. Back a guy up, straighten him up a little bit, Scott Rolen. And Chris will be the first one to tell you, I need to spot my fastball for me to be successful.
About an average of what, 4 miles an hour slower than at his best a couple of years ago?
Yep. He would top out 89, 90.
Pops it up, and that's playable. Gonzalez wants it. 2 away. Rolen fouls out to first, and here's Johnny Gomes.
Okay, Chris Young, as I mentioned, he does not throw the ball that hard, but you know what, though? A lot of hitters, it'll be tough to get on top of that high fastball. Chris Young will go up the ladder, and Rolen just couldn't get on top of that one, and you'll get a lot of high fly balls like that.
And where you're accustomed to most pitchers throwing from the first floor, he's thrown from up in the terrace of the second floor.
The Toyota Terrace.
At 6'10", although he doesn't really come way over the top, but with all that height, he's pitching downhill. In there, a high strike.
And you know what, Dick, another thing about Chris Young is the deception. He kind of like almost throws like a catcher. He kind of comes from the side of his head and his ear towards home plate, and the hitters don't get a good look at that big, long arm swing, so the ball sneaks up on those hitters.
Gomes has had a good year, 17 homers and 84 runs batted in. You figure that Votto with 106, both Bruce, Rolen, Gomes, all in the 60, 70, 80s.
That's a good pitch.
Fastest yet, 87.
And on the corner, great location.
That's a good sign. He's getting a little stronger.
A little giddy up on that fastball. And right from the ear. I mean, it happens so quickly, it's tough for the hitter to pick that pitch up. Before you know it, the ball's on you.
Runners lead away. Cabrera at second, Bruce at first. 2-strike pitch. Popped it up. Very high in the air. Long run for Venable in center field, and he makes it there, and Chris Young Works out of trouble in the first. No runs, 2 Reds hits, 2 men left. It'll be Venable, Eckstein, and Tejada. The Philly cheesesteak burger at Carl's Jr. It's a Philly cheesesteak on a burger. That means it's a first place cheesesteak on a burger.
Yeah.
Well,
right. Phillies, I get it.
Here's the hottest hitter for the Padres, Will Venable. And he hits this one long but foul, way out in front, and he hit that one downtown. Venable in the last 13 games has been knocking the cover off the ball. 20 for 41.
Well, you're going to see a lot of off-speed pitches from Bronson Arroyo, and Will gets out in front of this one. The long foul ball. Strike 1.
Upper tier. Fouls that one into the glove. Catcher Hannigan. Arroyo, 6'4", a slender 194. He's 33 years of age, a Floridian. A real workhorse. Reaches out and slaps at the left. In comes the left fielder, Gomes. And there's one away. Our starting pitcher profile of Bronson Arroyo, named after the actor Charles Bronson. Brought to you by the all-new Cadillac SRX, the Cadillac of crossovers. 16-10, 16 wins, his career high. Third consecutive year that he's won 15 or more. 15 2 years ago, 15 last year, and now 16 this season.
Trying to put the other teams on a death wish.
Eckstein backs away, ball 1. Padres have beaten the Reds 4 straight here at Petco. And they're 9-3 in the last 12.
The reason why I chuckle there is because Bronson Arroyo, he just flips it up there. He'll throw a BP fastball about 70 miles an hour. He'll top out that fastball about 91.
Eckstein hits it well to right, and having to give ground is Bruce to make the catch. 2 fly ball outs. A look at the Padres lineup of Buddy Black, brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project with Alpine Rock and Block. Venable, Eckstein, they're out. Tejada hits third. Gonzalez in the cleanup hole. Then Ludwig, Matt Stairs in the lineup. And when Stairs starts this year, listen to this, fans, the Padres are 11-2 when the veterans in the outfield to start. Torrey Alba behind the plate. And third baseman Chase Headley into the 8th spot. Bounced up the middle, and a backhanded play by Phillips to throw him out. Easy inning for Arroyo. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres on just 8 pitches. Baseball Friday night at Petco. And we invite you to be with us tomorrow. The Padres will take on the Reds at 1:10. 1:10, not an evening game as it appears on the schedule. It's on national television. And the first 25,000 of you fans will take home a Padres calendar for 2011 presented by Golden State Graphics. Don't wait. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com.
First thing I'm doing when I get my calendar, I'm marking your birthday down in January.
I don't celebrate birthdays. First pitch to Hernandez is just out of the strike zone. It'll be Hernandez, Stubbs, and Hannigan for the Reds in the second. High pop-up. Second baseman Eckstein, right fielder Ludwig. And Ryan Ludwig squeezes the first out in the second.
Well, those fastballs out of the hand of Chris Young are so reminiscent when he first came over to the Padres, and teams could just not catch up to it. It's uncanny. A lot of fly balls, shallow fly balls, when they try to hook up with that fastball.
Well, that was maybe the best trade that Kevin Towers made. Huh?
One of them.
Wasn't Adrian in the same deal? Adrian Gonzalez and Chris Young.
Texas,
I remember Adam Eaton.
Yep.
Had that great curveball. A lot of folks said, oh, don't trade him. 1-1.
Yeah, Aki Otsuka going to the Texas Rangers as well. But he had his best years definitely here as a Padre, and sometimes the trade and timing of the trade is everything.
Get an all-star, Gold Glove. Pop back toward us. That came close. Just off the facing of the upper tier. Since there has not been a foul ball in the broadcast booth all season long, it only figures probably, I'm thinking San Francisco, final series of the season.
So?
Yeah.
I'll bring my glove.
Check swing. Did he go? No. Slider. Stubbs, though hitting only .248, has 20 home runs. Young goes full on this right-handed hitter. Four out so far, all in the air. And this one is going deep to left field, and Stubbs will watch that one fly out of here, and the Reds show their home run power early. It's 1-0. Number 21 for Drew Stubbs.
Well, Chris will be the first one to tell you he has to locate the fastball, and that one leaks outer third up around the belt buckle, and Stubbs showing some power there. The Reds, number one in home runs in the National League, first in RBIs, first in slugging percentage, first in hits, first in runs. It just keeps going and going and going. They have got some power bats in that lineup.
They have the team triple crown sewed up. And they've got Votto leading the way with 35 homers, but three other Reds in the lineup tonight have over 20. Stubbs now with 21. Hannigan, a .280 hitter. The catchers have been very productive for Dusty Baker. In fact, collectively, Hannigan and Hernandez have driven in more runs and have a better average than any catching core in the National League.
Third year for Dusty Baker, one of the greatest teammates that I got to play with as a youngster in San Francisco in 1984. Good man, Dusty.
Former Marine, born in Riverside, California.
And you know, that guy, he did a lot by not saying a lot. Just the way he acted in the clubhouse, how he acted on the field. But when he spoke up, you listened.
Remember, they had a clubhouse meeting when we were in Cincinnati after the Padres won the first two games of the series. And things looked mighty glum at the time. No one would have figured the way they were playing first month of the season that they'd almost run away with the National League Central. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two of the top managers in baseball opposing each other in this series. From 0-2 to 3-2.
And also, you talk about managers. you take it a step further. Two of the best pitching coaches, I think, in all of baseball. Brian Price for the Reds and Darren Balsley for the Padres. Two good ones.
Keeping an eagle eye on Chris Young. His first walk, a fastball well out of the strike zone.
Got away from him a little bit.
Brings up Bronson Arroyo, the pitcher, not a bad hitter.
You know, we also have to realize, being 6'10", Chris Young's got a big frame.
Arroyo, 9 hits and 64 at bats. There it is, and a home run. 8 RBIs. Takes a strike.
And with that big frame of 6'10", sometimes it might get a little out of whack. And the release point is off a little bit. So everything's got to work in unison and work perfectly for Chris.
Arroyo trying to move the runner along and give Brandon Phillips a chance. The 2 outs to drive in a second run. Out in front of the plate, well placed. Torrealba to Eckstein for the out. Sacrifice 2-4 to move Hannigan in scoring position. Half a hit. That's how you score
half an RBI
that.
if he scores. Oh yeah, watch. He'll get a lot of high fives in that dugout. All his teammates are going to be up giving him the pump fist there and the high fives, getting that runner over.
Phillips fly to shallow right his first time. And here's your leadoff man, and he has 16 home runs. They'll shrink a ballpark.
Oh yeah.
Fastball strike. Again tomorrow, Channel 4 San Diego will relinquish the reins to Fox Television. But of course, 1090, you can pick up Andy and Ted and Jerry. Their radio broadcast call. John Garland will go for the Padres against Travis Wood, a 23-year-old left-hander. Cincinnati 5-4. Hit to center field. Venable coming in. And another fly ball out. But one of the fly balls in the second didn't stop till it hit the second deck, as Stubbs gives the Reds a 1-0 lead. 5, Clayton Richard against Homer Bailey. And at, let's see, 10,000 of you youngsters 14 and younger will take home a Padres Slinky presented by Bank of America. Go to Padres.com tonight. Get your tickets. We'll see you out here on Sunday. The Reds and the Padres. 1-0 Cincinnati. Gonzalez, Ludwig, and Matt Stairs, the middle three in Buddy Black's batting order to face Bronson Arroyo. Off speed to start Gonzalez up high.
You know, I was looking at the notes before the game, and I had to double check. Adrian career off of Arroyo, $125 only.
Gets that one foul.
A lot of off-speed pitches. And you're going to get something to hit off Arroyo because he does not walk very many hitters, folks. In 203-plus innings this year, only 59 free passes.
He was a terrific pickup in a trade with the Red Sox. And a dangerous foul ball into the crowd. Reds gave up Willie Mo Pena, who is now property of the Padres. That was 4 years ago to get Bronson Arroyo, and Arroyo has been just an inning eater and solid, as we mentioned in the win column. 2-2.
5 of the last 6 years for Arroyo in the double digits in the win column. This guy's a competitor. He's a winner. And like you said earlier, Dick, the guy's going to just chew up innings.
High pop-up. Shortstop Cabrera goes out. Outfielders don't call him off. And Cabrera squeezes it. And a final, the Giants, and the pitching has been phenomenal. The Giants are setting a major league record with the way they're holding teams to 3 runs or less. In fact, they have set it, and now they're adding to it. That's the 18th consecutive game they've allowed 3 runs or less. 18 in a row. That's the longest in the live ball era since 1920.
Well, we know their rotation. We know their bullpen. Of course, when you hand the ball over to Brian Wilson, it's pretty much lights out. But their pitching is coming through, and their bats really haven't been awake, except for the other night in Wrigley Field where they scored 13 runs. Yeah, when you're getting pitching like that, you only need 1 or 2 runs.
Well, the Giants have secured first place for this night, regardless of the outcome of this game. Washington did beat Atlanta, and Atlanta figures in the total picture now because San Francisco, Padres. Ludwig swings and hits a high fly ball to deep right center field. Back deep and caught by the right fielder, Shea Bruce. For a moment, it looked as if that had a chance.
If he got on top of that ball just a little bit more, it's probably a line drive to right center field, but that ball just hung up there. And Ludwig just a little bit, just a tad out in front of that one.
That's Death Valley when you hit it out toward that 400-foot sign. So 5 in a row retired by Arroyo. Here's Matt Stairs. A rare start, but he's a rare sort. 42. He's established the Major League all-time record pinch hit home runs and continues to add to it. And as we said earlier, when he starts a game, this is his 14th start. Ground ball to the right side. The Padres are 11-2. But he's out 4-3, and Arroyo works a couple of easy 1-2-3 innings. A carryover from the Padres' quiet bats at Dodger Stadium last night. brought to you by the all-new Cadillac CTS Coupe. With dramatic styling, intuitive technology, and spirited performance, it represents the best of Cadillac. Test drive one tomorrow. Chris Young, 35th pitch of the game. That'll be calculated very closely by the Padres. Working to Cabrera, who singled up the middle his first at bat. Shallow fly ball. Venable in from center. He has his third put out of the game.
You will see a lot of fastballs from Chris Young. I remember one start a couple years ago. He threw 113 pitches, and I'm not exaggerating. Out of those 113 pitches, he must have threw 97, 98 fastballs. He was just locating the fastball, working up the ladder. Guys were popping it up. Guys were swinging through it. Just goes to show you, if you know what to do with that number one, you can go a long way.
From that center field camera, you don't see a lot of movement on his fastball.
It's pretty straight.
As that one was, fouled out of play. And Jay Bruce singled his first at bat.
What also is funny is that when Chris is on his game, he'll throw fastballs right down the middle of the left-handed hitters. And they'll swing through it, and the looks on these hitters are like, how did I miss that? Chris is 11 of 12 first pitch strikes so far.
Bruce up, bases empty, one out. Scott Rolen, the cleanup hitter, on deck. He's one of the 4 players with 20 home runs or more. Late on that fastball.
Just a 4-seamer right there. Outer third, belt high. Well, I just wish Chris Young wouldn't have gotten hurt. I mean, there are no guarantees, obviously. But my goodness.
That changed the whole fabric of the season. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, a slider. And Bruce goes down. First strikeout for CY.
Just a little bit of movement on the high slider. He wanted to backdoor it, but you can see just a little bit. And here's the grip out of the, look at the big mitts on that guy. It's 6'10", Chris Young. See the rotation on that slider for the strikeout.
You see Chris, and he's so tall, you think that he's tall and thin. Wrong. He weighs 275 pounds. Yeah. He's a big man.
Try posting up against him in the paint. Trying to go to the hole.
Most valuable player in the Ivy League in baseball and basketball, as was the case for the man out there in center field. Uh-oh. That is another one crushed to left field. And it is caught. Oh, my. Robbing Rolen of a home run is Matt Stairs. Take that. The senior citizen and left. Give him a front seat in the bus. Oh, my. Park, where you can enjoy a wonderful evening. Happy hour 7 days a week.
By Irving Hughes, life is a lease. Negotiate well. And by Mass Mutual, a company owned by its policyholders. Well, that last out, we'll take a look at it again. If ever there was a Mutt and Jeff play, that was it. 6'10" Young delivering the ball and 5'9" Stairs climbing the wall to prevent extra base hits, possibly a home run. It was close, right at the top of the wall. Bottom third of the order, Torrealba, Headley, and Young against Arroyo, as the Padres looking for their first base runner. They've scored since that middle game of the Dodger series when they got 3 in the third and won at 3-1. They've scored only 1 run in the last 17 innings. 1-1. Torrealba, a steady season, 278. Half a dozen home runs. Chops that one toward third. Rolen across in time for the out. And a good stretch there made by Hernandez, the catcher, showing that he's quite pliable there at the bag. Doing more on defense is brought to you by the Home Depot. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Matt Stairs. Take a picture of that one, Sony.
Oh, what a great effort by Matt. He may have not used the stairs there. That's more like a step stool. He got up, maybe about 1.5 feet. Good effort. And I guarantee you one thing. When he got in that dugout, I'm sure every Padre was on his feet congratulating the old guy for making that catch.
I think he went back into the clubhouse to take a look at that on
sure
video.
Did.
Here's the man the Padres have to get cooking in the final 10 games of the season. Average down to 262. Still playing a great third base, but they need him to come up with some base hits. Lay down that swing.
Well, you make a good point. When a guy is struggling with the wood, you better pick it up with the leather, and Chase Headley has not gone away from that. He's played a steady third base. Imagine how tough it is when you're struggling at the plate and then you got to go out and play defense. He's doing a fine job.
One ball, 2 strikes on Headley. 11 home runs on the year, 56 runs batted in. Lays off the high fastball. 2-2.
And that's by design. You saw Hannigan giving the high strike sign or the high glove sign, wanting to go up the ladder.
Struck him out. That's been a common theme, unfortunately. Another fastball. And Arroyo logs his first strikeout.
Well, this was the giveaway tonight. The Clone Wars Adventures team picture with some Star Wars characters. The Force is strong with the San Diego Padres. Oh, and they're in the house tonight.
Ooh. Chris Young. Been up only 3 official at-bats. Foul ball on a late swing.
And in the bullpen, C3PO is taking in a big league ball game. He's got his eyes on. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, there's no way the Reds can win tonight.
No way. Oh, that's funny.
That bullpen crew. If you only could hide a mic in there.
I'll tell you what, it's a fraternity down there.
The penitentiary. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chris Young, 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Reds. And he gets him on a slider. Couple of strikeouts to close out the third for Arroyo. He's worked a perfect 3 innings, 9 up, 9 down. And the Reds, despite all the troops that have been called out of reserve to help the Padres, are ahead. On sale now. Enjoy great action photos of Padre players. A behind-the-scenes look at a game day at Petco. Compelling images of great Padres moments of 2010, including 10 walk-off victories. The Padres photo book, only $5. Get yours at the Padres Majestic store at Petco Park. That's the store out there in the left field corner. And they have all kinds of gear there, the official gear. It's for $5, a nice book of memories of this magical 2010 season. Chris Young going to work to face Gomes, Hernandez, and the home run hitting Stubbs in the fourth. High pop-up. Eckstein for the first out. Nothing wrong with that. One pitch, one out. That's only the 43rd delivery so far for Chris Young. Ramon Hernandez flying to right, his first time up.
I think I saw Ramon Hernandez just kiss his bat going up to the plate. I remember him doing that as a Padre as well. Very superstitious.
No, you're talking about all season long the maple bats and how they're shattering, and now, you know, with the injury to Colvin in Chicago, Cliff Lee hit in the ear with a shattered bat as well. I was talking with James Loney in Los Angeles. Now they're talking about birch bats, white birch. Trying to find a new kind of wood.
A wood that probably splinters a little bit but doesn't like blow up and like into pieces.
When I see birches swing from left to right along the line of straighter, darker trees, I like to think some boy's been swinging them. I think that's Robert Frost.
Yeah.
Foul back.
You said that quite well. Recited that quite well.
Yeah, I remember assignment in freshman class in college. We had to read a poem in front of the whole class and explain what it.
How about Milton's Paradise Lost? Did you have to do that one?
No, not. Did you?
No, it's a bit boring, long-winded, but
pop back. That's into the tier just below us. Two and two on Ramon Hernandez. Hope you've made plans. 10 games to go, 6 more after tonight here at Petco. 2 of the Reds, and then 4 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon against the Cubs. A lot of Chicago fans who have migrated out to Southern California. I know you'll be out here, even though it's been another disappointing season.
Hey, the Cubs have played well under Mike Quaddy,
haven't they?
The interim manager. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of managerial turnover. Look at the left-hander. I think he wants to toe the slab and flip some breaking balls up there as we take a look at the Redbirds over the Cubs.
Of course, Cincinnati pulling for the Cubs as they have a magic number of 3 over St. Louis in the Central. Full count. Another fly ball. One after another. Ludwig easing his way into shallow right. Other than the sacrifice, every out, other than a strikeout and a sacrifice, a fly ball out.
And that's Chris Young's game.
And here comes a man who plastered a Chris Young pitch into the deep reaches of left field his last time up for home run number 21. Drew Stubbs, 25-year-old outfielder. And here it is. Off the facing of the second deck.
And it was a fastball outer third of the plate, too much of the plate. And Stubbs was all over it.
Couple of breaking balls out of respect. He was their number 1 draft pick just 4 years ago, the 8th overall selected. So he was highly sought out of the amateur ranks and has produced. He came up to the big leagues last year, but this has been his coming out party this year at 248 and 21 home runs, 73 RBIs.
He's put together a nice little year.
3-0. And ball 4. Second walk from Young. Catcher Ryan Hannigan. He walked in the second inning after the home run by Stubbs.
I'll reiterate what I mentioned earlier. Chris Young talking about pitch count 70 to 90. Just saw the pitch count there. 54 tosses for CY.
2 outs here in the 4th inning. Hopeful that they would get 5 innings out of Chris tonight. Building up his stamina. And should the Padres make the playoffs, Young's going to be key.
Absolutely.
Basically figure in the playoffs, you look at 3 pitchers, 3 starters. Who are they going to be? That'll be a tough call for Bruce Bochy and that staff, huh? The way they're going. Yeah,
you can look at the teams and how they would set up if, in fact, they were to make the playoffs. Giants, Lincecum, Kane, Sanchez,
Zito.
Yeah.
Until a couple of weeks ago, certainly have been Latos, Garland. And then who would be the 3rd starter for the Padres? Could be Young. 1-1 after 5 straight balls.
We talked about starters for the Padres. Veteran Garland, Clayton Richard throwing the heck out of the ball the last time out. Matt Latos can turn it around. Tim Stauffer, I mean, he threw the ball well.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, and hopefully Buddy Black will have that dilemma. To whom will he go to win the big ones? And of course, the next 10 will help decide that. All those pitchers are going to have their chance to step up and deliver a win for the Padres. And each knows that every pitch counts so much on this stage of the year. 152 games played. Two and 1. At St. Louis on Saturday, Chris had 3 solid innings of control. Then he had 1 shaky inning where he walked a couple and a wild pitch scored the only run off him. 2 outs. He's walked Stubbs. Now 2-1 on Hannigan with Arroyo on deck. Three and 1.
Just missed. If I'm a bet man, track's going to say ball. Just off the outside corner.
Hannigan will be swinging if he finds something he likes with a pitcher on deck. 3-1.
Oh, he almost got him. I love that play. The deke. He almost fell for it. Watch Adrian. He's going to act like the ball's going to get by him. Oh, I got to go get it. And then he's like, I got to. Yeah. Stubbs gets back.
Ground ball to Headley. Gloves it in fair territory and fires across for the out. Reds, no runs, no hits, a man left. They're 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Cincinnati. Here's back, presented by Sequan Casino. For your chance to win a jersey from a Padres player or coach, purchase a $1 scratch-off ticket beginning September 24th. That's tonight. Look for the Petco Park Volunteers. They're wearing the blue aprons. Tickets can be purchased also at the Padres ticket office lobby on non-game days, although we have a game every day. All proceeds benefit the Padres Foundation. Top of the order, Padres looking for their first base runner off Bronson Arroyo. And there it is, a single to center by Venable. He continues to swing a hot bat. Boy, is that good to see. Saving his best for last.
And breaking up the no-no. Something soft, a high breaking ball, and taking it right up the center of the diamond. Stayed back on that nicely. Keeps the hands back and then explodes. Recognizing that pitch.
Leadoff man aboard for David Eckstein. He flied to right his first. Hit it well. Midst of an 8-game hitting streak. Venable, the leading Padre base stealer, 27. But the Padres just have not been stealing bases of late at all. Only 2 in the last 15 games. Part of that is the game condition and the fact that they were in the throes of a 10-game losing streak and close ball games. There he goes. And the throw won't be nearly in time. There's a steal, and that factors well in the hopes of Padre fans. These fans know well the statistic on the year: steal a base, win a game, 52 and 13 on the year.
Well, a couple of factors. At times, Arroyo will use the big leg kick. He used the abbreviated slide step, and plus it was a breaking ball, enabling Will Venable to get another King Stallman stolen base into scoring position.
Now Eckstein's job is to deliver the ball to the right side, move that runner along. Maybe even sacrifice. Bunts it in the air, and it's caught. What a catch by Rolen, and just back in time, Venable. What a play by Rolen. If that ball drops, it's a base hit for Eckstein.
Well, they were bunched in on the corners. I was looking at Hernandez, and we take a look at Rolen. This ball is popped up, and right in the heel of the glove. And he made a great effort from his backside, thrown to second base to try to double up Will. So Will's kind of caught in no man's land. What do I do? Well, at that point, he's got to get back, and he gets back in safely.
Terrific play by Rolen. That was do or die, and he's able to just snare it off the top of the grass. So it's up to Tejada and Gonzalez with Venable out at second base. 1 out. Tejada grounded out to the second baseman, his first at bat. He's in a modest little string of 6 games in a row. Had the big blow 2 nights ago, the 2-run homer in Los Angeles. That 3-1 win. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, one of the pitches that Bronson Arroyo really likes to throw lately is that changeup, righty on righty. In this situation, 2 straight changeups. He kind of felt that guys were sitting on his curveball because he would throw that big looping curveball. Guys were sitting on it, so he feels he counters with the changeup. Looks like a fastball, but takes a little bit off.
There's a line drive over the leaping try of Rolen. Here comes Venable around third. He's going to try to score. Going to be a play. He's in there. 1-1. I thought Johnny Gomes had a shot, but his throw had no intent. And on a broken bat single by Tejada, the Padres tie it up at 1.
You know, I think from Will Venable's vantage point, being at second base, he realized that Rolen was not going to get this ball. Gomes had to charge, and then you factor all that in. He freezes. Now he's off. It was hit so lightly with his speed, he's going to score. Gomes faked the throw, and he didn't want to throw home because he didn't want Tejada to go to second base back into scoring position.
So the aggressive base running of Venable pays off. A steal, and there's a ball shot right to the second baseman. Gonzalez hit it hard, but right to the glove of Brandon Phillips. Ryan Ludwig fly to right his first time, hit the ball well, just shy of the warning track out at the 400 sign in right center. Now there's baseball for you, back to back. Broken bat. Tejada hit the ball not hard enough for Gomes to charge and make a play at the plate, and then Gonzalez scorches one right to second. Foul just past third.
You've got to really stay back on Bronson Arroyo. Let the ball travel. If you start getting a little jumpy out in front, you'll jam yourself, you'll pop the ball up. Easier said than done, because this guy's going to throw a lot of slop at you.
Tejada with a bluff. Curveball missing, 1-1. Venable single, stolen base, 28th of the year. And scores on Tejada, soft single to left field to tie the game. And there for a moment, Mark Grant, it looked as if Rolen was going to make the great diving play on the bunt and then a leaping stab of a soft liner, but it just cleared his reach. And Tejada had the RBI single. Low and away on a curveball. Boy, he does throw a lot of pitches in the low 70s.
And if you notice that curveball, he'll have that 12-6 downer, and he'll have that sweeper that he threw earlier. He just gives you different arm angles. He'll drop down sidearm on that. Coach Chris Spire on the left giving some signs.
Runner goes. Hannigan's throw. Not in time. Tejada gets into the spirit of steel.
It was another breaking ball. And that works to the advantage of a runner because it takes just a little bit longer for that ball to get to home plate. Another Padre in the scoring position.
It's his second stolen base as a Padre. And gives Ludwig a chance here on a 2-2 pitch. Go ahead run. Tejada off second base with 2 outs here in the 4th. A run in. Off the head of the bat. Curveball way out in front.
Oh, yeah, he cued that one. Watch how far out in front Ludwig is, and he cues that ball over towards the Padre dugout.
Nasty. Looped. Foul. You get so many off-speed pitches, even when you're ready for it. You wait too long and you foul that off to the right.
I mean, Ryan would be the first one to admit that was a bad hack on the fastball inside. Arroyo stays out of the heart of the plate. Now he might flip something up there on the outside part of the plate. Something soft away. See him drop down with his arm there. That was a fastball at 87. Just giving Ludwig a different look. Watch the arm angle here. Dropping it down. Trying to go for that outside corner.
That two-seamer bringing the ball back over the corner. That would have been a strike. Matt Steers on deck. very close. That fastball just missed the outside edge.
Let's see what Trax likes it or not. Oh, right on the corner.
Padres get a break. Fans want another run. Swung out and missed. 71-mile-an-hour curveball. Inning is over, but the Padres get a run on a couple of hits and two stolen bases. It's tied at 1.
Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lambert Construction. Do you need more space for a new guest? Visit MurrayLambert.com to see how easy and affordable a room addition or maybe even a second story can be. Dick?
So you add your room out there in Alpine. Yeah. I can come out and have my own guest room. Huh?
We've got your room all set up for you.
Sounds
we got
good.
The keg ready to go. And
let's have a party.
High-def TV.
As soon as the season's over, about November 1st, let's have a party.
You can bring the wine. And
got a couple left. Yeah, the seller still has a couple with your name on it. Arroyo, the pitcher, sacrificed his first time up. Young falls behind 2-0. We talked about how the Padres had not been stealing bases. That's the first time they've stolen 2 bases in a game, going all the way back to September 8th. Good to see that aggressive play again.
Well, I think one of the game plans tonight was against Arroyo, who throws a lot of slop. That gives the runners a step or two advantage.
Gosh, Arroyo has crushed this one back to Stairs, and he makes the catch. A foot from the Wells Fargo sign. Arroyo, who has hit 1 home run this year, flirted here. In Cincinnati, that would have been out or close to it.
Put a good swing on it, but no worries. We got the modern-day Greg Luzinski out there. The Bull. Although Luzinski was a right-handed hitter. But he kind of resembles the Bull out there.
He is the grandpa of that clubhouse, and they all love him. Doesn't say much, but everyone listens when those lips move. First pitch to Brandon Phillips just off the edge.
And usually, if he says something, there's usually a chuckle or a laugh after it is said.
Yeah, if you could put barbed wire on your vocal cords, he'd have it. Yeah. He's got a little barb on everything. Couple of fly ball outs for Phillips, his first 2 at bats. Pitch count now for Chris Young into the 60s. 65. Trying to get through 5 innings tonight. That would be terrific. It's got a tie game, 1-1. Fastest pitch Saturday and returning after 144 games on the DL. Was 86, 87 tops tonight. Falls behind 3-1.
And with that motion of Chris Young, sometimes it's hard to make that adjustment and work down in the zone. You could tell that Torrealba wanted that last pitch down. There you go.
Big rip. Full count.
And that ball was right down the middle. Got a piece of Torrealba and also got a piece of the umpire. Hey, since Star Wars is the theme here in the Padre bullpen, Kerwin Danley with dark helmet. You got the hockey stuff. There they are. All the clones.
Yep, he's high again. Third walk tonight from Chris Young. Danley, a local product,
yes,
from San Diego State.
Played with Tony Gwynn up on the Mesa.
So Phillips with one out at first base. A stir out there in left center field in the Padre bullpen. This is Cabrera, single and a fly ball to center. And another ball high. So he's consistently up, and Torrealba going to go out and try to offer a little advice how to get that ball down into the strike zone.
Just slows down pace a little bit, get a little bit of a breather.
Okay, when you were consistently high, what did the catcher tell you to do?
I would throw a breaking ball. I'd mix in a slider, because what that does, it kind of forces you to get that release point out in front. You don't want to hang a breaking ball, right? You want to concentrate keeping it down. So in essence, what you're doing is getting that breaking ball down, you're getting the release point down as Ernesto Frieri heats up. So let's see if he throws a slider here.
But let's say you did want to throw a fastball but get the ball into the strike zone. Plate umpire Danley having an issue with a camera over there, or
not sure. But if I wanted to make an adjustment on the fastball,
how do you think about throwing the ball?
Look at the shoe tops of the catcher and try to hit it.
Right at the shoe tops.
Yeah, just concentrating on getting that release point out on top a little bit, or out in front a little bit more, and working downhill towards those shoe tops. Sometimes another reason why some guys are up in the zone quite a bit, maybe their stride is a little bit too long. So if you shorten your stride, it enables you to get up on top a little bit more and enables you to work downhill.
So as you take a longer stride, your arm's late.
Right, exactly. Good call, Coach. Nice. San Fernando Valley had a hell of a coach back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah, it's the beauty of baseball. The subtleties. Everyone says, hey, you're a major league pitcher. You ought to be able to throw the ball in the strike zone. You're high on every pitch. Come on, let's go. Not as easy, one might think. Runner goes. High ball. Chopped to Headley. And Headley for the out. 2 away. So Dusty Baker, a little hit and run. Cabrera out third to first. Phillips moves into scoring position with 2 outs. For Jay Bruce, he has a single and struck out. He had that bounding single just over the glove of Gonzalez back in the first inning.
Now, remember, Chris tries to make an adjustment, but that pitch was up still. But Cabrera is still fishing after it, and that's not the right way to go after that pitch. He wants that pitch back. That's a pitch to try to drive to right center field. But because he tried to pull it, he hooks it, and it works to Chris's advantage. You see how frustrated Cabrera is.
Not a look of content as he stares out. What did I do? 1-1 tie, but the tiebreaker out at second. A walk and a ground out and a high fly ball to right. Hit pretty well, but room for Ludwig. And that's it for the Reds in the 5th. We've reached the halfway mark in this one. 4.5 in the book. Reds won. Padres won. And Bud Black going over the hitters with him, and his performance, 72 pitches. He allowed 1 run, the home run to Drew Stubbs. Total of 3 hits, walked 3. Struck out 1. But a solid effort.
Absolutely. And you know what I look for? I look at the body language of Chris. He looks confident. He looks like he's happy with his outing as he's talking to Bud Black. I mean, it was a great effort tonight.
It appears that is his outing for this Friday night. 5 innings. The bullpen remains busy, and Padres will try to get a run here in the bottom of the 5th. Give Chris Young a win. Matt Stairs takes it on the outside corner. The veteran left fielder bounced to second his first time.
Did you see the movement on that pitch? That was a changeup that caught the inside corner. Watch the movement of this pitch.
Check swing 1 and 2. Stairs stands right on the plate.
Yeah.
So some of the fans are crowing about the pitch before being inside, but you saw it was a strike. He hugs the plate.
His hands are almost on the inside part of the plate.
That one just missed. Stairs, Torrealba, and Headley for the Padres here in the 5th. Against Bronson Arroyo as he seeks his 17th win of the year for the National League Central leaders.
A lot of changeups this time around. Second time around for Matt Stairs.
Line to left field for a base hit. Good at bat for Matt Stairs. That's the Padres' 3rd hit.
You know, I don't know if that was by design, Matt Stairs going to left field. How many times we see Matt Stairs go the opposite way? But looking at that swing, he goes down and gets that pitch. He shortens up on the back end. And you're right. That is some good hitting by Matt Stairs.
Worked the count to 3 and 2. Torrealba, the catcher, steps in. He bounced to third, his first at bat.
Yorvich just kind of snuck down the third baseline and saw where Rolen was playing there.
Infield back up the middle. Cabrera and Phillips. Short and second, looking for a double play ball. Very deep is Rolen at third. Hernandez holding on the runner at first base, so the big hole is on the right side. That one's hit softly into left center. It may fall. It does. A blue pit by Torrealba. The Padres are at first and second with no one out.
Bronson Arroyo is throwing a lot of changeups tonight. That's a curveball, but Torrealba throws a changeup into shallow left center field for a base knock.
Looked like center fielder Stubbs had a chance, and he pulled his glove away.
Yeah, I think they may have been fooled by the swing. There's the spotlight to the bench, and Torrealba will take that nicely.
Brings up Chase Headley. Mike Baxter, the rookie from Portland, called up in September, is on deck. Going to have a pinch runner for Stairs. Tony Gwynn. And Stairs gets a hand from the fans behind the dugout on the first base side.
That man contributed big time tonight. Big out in left field, caught up against the wall, and a base knock here in the 5th inning.
Like so many of these Padres, not spectacular, but you group them as 25 and they become quite a team. And Stairs is one of those. Here's Headley. Struck out his first time up. He's due. Infield is looking for a bunt. Since Young will be out of the game and Buddy Black can use. No, Headley swings, sends a high fly ball into the night, very deep, tagging it Second base is the pinch runner Gwynn, and he'll easily advance on a long out off the bat of Headley. He got a lot of wood on that. That ball was way in the air.
And you can tell Chase kind of frustrated because he just missed that ball. Put a good swing on it, just got under it a little bit too much.
But able to advance the runner, the go-ahead score to third.
Pitching coach Brian Price out there have a chat with Arroyo, probably going over the scouting report on Mike Baxter, who is pinch hitting here in the pitcher spot. One thing for sure, Arroyo's going to stick with his strength, but it's always good to have an idea what this hitter is all about. Baxter, a left-handed hitter.
He hit .301 at Portland this year, did Baxter, with 30 doubles, 10 triples, and 18 home runs. Padres hoping he can deliver his first major league hit with first and third occupied and one out here in the ninth inning. Tied at 1. Home half of the fifth. Gwynn the pinch runner at third. Torrealba at first. Infield back up the middle. They'll concede a run for a chance at a double play. Ball one. To get your first major league hit is one thing. To be able to drive in a run with it makes it really special. That ball hit well to right field. Tagging is Gwynn. Catch made by Bruce. Here he comes. 2-1. Baxter with his first big league RBI. San Diego leads it 2-1.
That's got to be a good feeling for Mike Baxter. Getting a ball, he can elevate to the outfield. There was a changeup. Caught the heart of the plate. And with the speed of Tony Gwynn tagging at third base, Padres get another point and take the lead.
And for Chris Young, then he becomes the pitcher of record.
Right.
He has the 5 innings in the book, so it's his game. As Venable hits another one into left field. Boy, Venable. How about this, folks? In the last 14 games, Will Venable is 22 for 44, 500 hitting.
Stay hot. And swinging early off the veteran right-hander, Bronson Arroyo. And one thing's for sure, when Will is swinging the bat well like he's doing right now, he's using the whole field. A lot of his hits are going to the center of the diamond and left field. It's a good sign.
David Eckstein, the hitter. He's flying to right, tried to bunt, but it popped up, and Rolen made a terrific diving catch as he barreled in from third base. Popped him up. At the dugout and just out of the reach of catcher Ryan Hannigan.
Hey, it's little breaks like that, right? I mean, Eck gets another hack at it, right?
When that left his bat, it looked like an out.
Sure. He'll have another chance with that runner in scoring position.
We started to talk about David Eckstein. You were very quiet. I thought you didn't want to embarrass me. Or maybe you bit your tongue and you almost fell unconscious. I was really worried. Eckstein, the mighty might at the plate. 1-1. Every moment is precious now. They're all on the rail. Kyle Blank's not in uniform, but they're in the dugout, and the count goes 2-1. It's all right. You can talk. You won't embarrass me.
What are the chances of Eck getting an off-speed pitch here? Taking it the other way.
A run in, 2-1, 2 on. Action pitch, 2-1. Up high, 3-1 with Miguel Tejada on deck.
Yeah, walk would be nice here as well.
Tejada knocking in the first Padre run with a broken bat single in the last inning. Taken for a strike. Again, low 70s on that changeup, curveball.
We got a high strike call as well. Thought that pitch was up just a little bit.
Runners will go. That one laced down the right field line, but curling back into the crowd. Runners will wind it up and take off again on 3-2. Line drive foul. Oh, he timed that just a little out in front.
That is the sign of a hitter who has great hand-eye coordination. We know that about David Eckstein. All the soft stuff, fouling it off, but spinning on the fastball on the inside part of the plate.
.70 pitches now coming up from Arroyo. Again, runners off on 3-2. Roll to the left side, right at the bag, and Rolen brought right to the third base bag for the force out, and the inning is over. But the Padres get another run on 2 hits and a sacrifice fly by the pinch hitter. Baseball stories brought to you by Farmers Insurance. To find a Farmers agent, call 800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com, because ready feels good. On this date, 4 years ago, Trevor Hoffman set the new Major League record for career saves as he recorded number 479 in the Padres' 2-1 win over the Pirates, and now he's sitting on an even 600. Hoffman breaking the mark of Lee Smith 4 years ago.
That record stood for a long time. Lee Arthur Smith.
Here's Ryan Webb taking over Chris Young's game, 2-1. Padres with 3 hits and a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning to capture the lead for the first time in the game. And they hand the ball to the big right-hander Webb, who is 3-1 with a 2.89 ERA. Batting average up there a bit, 273 against. 56 innings, 59 hits. He'll face the middle three in the Reds order: Rolen, Gomes, and Hernandez.
Red hitters going to have to turn it up a notch. Hard throwing right-hander Webb in there.
Boy, look at the action on that fastball. 97, and just acted like a changeup. The way it just bottom fell out.
Tremendous movement.
Quinn stays in the game in center field. Venable moves from center to left. And there's a base hit to right field as Rolen, that's a major league swing there, just goes with it to the opposite field. Let's close the book on Chris Young. He went 5 innings, 1 run, only 3 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout.
But Rolen did a nice job of staying inside out on that baseball and that pitch.
Gomes has flied out and popped to second. Jammed him, soft fly. Eckstein sprinting, and Gonzalez drops the ball. He's got to play at second base, and that is thrown away. No, and the runners keep going. Second and third occupied on a miserable play by the Padres. Eckstein had a play on the ball. Gonzalez called him off, drops the ball, and throws it away. A double error on the Gold Glove first baseman of the Padres. Oh my, we haven't seen anything like that in a long time from the Padres' stellar first baseman.
Yeah, it could have been a wash. As soon as this ball hits, remember, now it's a force play. It's a fair ball. Force play at second. Adrian throws off balance. The short hop gets Miguel Tejada. If he catches that cleanly, the batter is erased off the thumb of the glove of Adrian.
He had time to set and throw. I don't think he realized how far off second base Rolen was.
Yeah, he threw off balance. You betcha.
Yeah, that ugly play positions the Reds with no one out, tying run at third, and a go-ahead score at second on a double error by Gonzalez. Fastball inside to Ramon Hernandez. They're going to score the pop fly as a base hit. All right, so give Gomes a hit and just 1 error on Gonzalez. If Gonzalez was the scorer, he would have doubled up on himself. That ball should have been caught, and a good throw obviously would have gotten the force. That one chopped off home plate, will easily score the run, except it kicks foul.
So that's one of the downsides of having a hard-throwing sinker baller like Ryan Webb. You get a lot of those choppers out in front of home plate. Yeah, when they're on, they can get some grounders, and the infielders will be busy. But that's the downside.
1 ball and 1 strike as the bullpen busy. Thatcher and Gregerson. Webb in a jam. Second and third. No one out. 1-1 to Hernandez. Well, the Padres, the top defensive team in the National League. The Reds are second, by the way. They haven't given many runs away. In fact, less unearned runs allowed by the Padres than any team in the league. Another chopper off the plate. Going to have to go out there and patch up the front lip of home plate.
Luke Yoder is going to be busy.
Taking chunks out of it.
Hey, by the way, the field looks great after that soccer match that they had here.
Fabulous.
I mean, it looks tip-top. I mean, this is one of the best surfaces in all of Major League Baseball. Credit to Luke Yoder and his staff here at Petco Park. The best.
Look at that. Verdant green. 2-2. Webb needs a strikeout. Keep it down, says Torrealba. And another chopper. It might even be a base hit. Headley has to barehand it. And the game is tied, and safe at first is Hernandez. Well, 3 straight times Hernandez chopped one off home plate. Finally got one fair, and that's a base hit.
And, you know, I think with Hernandez running, Chase may have had time to glove that. Glove in the air, hand right next to the glove, and then make a transfer. Let's take a look. Gets a little help from home plate. Chase tries to barehand it. You know, he had plenty of time to glove that, I think.
Just as Gonzalez had plenty of time to throw out the runner at second. It's just one of those innings where the misplays are contagious, although that should be the way the scorer ruled the Gomes pop fly off Gonzalez a hit. That should be a hit as well. And is. And an RBI to Hernandez to make it 2-2.
That's frustrating for a pitcher. You know, you feel great. You've got great action on your pitches. Buddy out there just to have a chat with Torrealba and the whole infield there.
The only thing positive about that high chopper RBI single by Hernandez is that the runners didn't advance. Gomes stayed at second. So first and second sets up a double play here. Drew Stubbs homered and walked. His home run, the only run allowed by Chris Young. 21st of the season off the facing of the second deck in left field. Padre infield looking for a bunt. I'm not sure they're going to get one from Stubbs. He's swinging. 97 on the fastball inside. And that's something that Hernandez 3 straight times hit the ball off the front lip of home plate. 2 foul, 1 fair.
Having difficulty getting on top of that sinker, but it works to his advantage. You got a lot of help from home plate because he is not a fast runner.
Headley backs off a few steps down, but still at the edge of the grass. Bag high at third. That one bending to the inside edge for a strike. Fastball.
Tremendous movement on that two-seam fastball.
Webb is going to be something special when he gets a good off-speed pitch.
Yep.
He's got heat on heat.
I can see him with a split finger. Can you imagine this guy with the 95, 96 with that movement and then dropping a splitty on you? Or even a straight changeup?
That's what I was thinking. And that's that can be taught. Just has to trust it. Held back, 2-1. Reds have tied it here in the 6th inning. On Rolen single to right. A blue pit off Gonzalez's glove wouldn't hit very high. Gomes, and then an infield chop by Hernandez. Talk about manufacturing a run. Strike. 2-2. If you're just joining us, the Giants edged the Rockies 2-1. That's 5 straight losses for Colorado. And the Giants pitching continues to be phenomenal. Atlanta lost to Washington. That figures in the wild card. Buddy Black needs a nice ground ball double play here. Got him swinging. Slider.
That was a big leg pitch by Ryan Webb. Going hard with the sinker down and in, and then going to the other side of the plate with the slider. Good tilt. Actually, that ball, after a second look, right down the heart of the plate, but the tilt got him.
That brings up Ryan Hannigan. Strikeout double play isn't a bad formula either. First and second, 1 out, 1 run in, 2-2 the score here, top of the 6th inning. Padres can get out of this with only 1 run scoring. That would be a boost. Pitcher on deck, Arroyo. Snap throw, and not in time as Eckstein slipping in behind. It was interesting up at Dodger Stadium on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Padres were out on the field like 2 o'clock in the afternoon working on that play. I mean, here we are a week and a half before the end of the regular season. They're still trying to hone their skills. Maybe they get one of those pickoffs could turn the tide.
And that's something you just can't talk about in the clubhouse or talk about on a chalkboard. You have to get out there, get the timing down, get the signs down as well.
2-0. Ryan Webb has the stuff as he learns to command it better and better. Padres have another live young arm. Nervous pacing down in that dugout. The skipper Black and Aaron Bowlesley, the pitching coach. For a moment, I thought plate umpire Danley was going to call a balk.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of the hitter Hannigan asking for time. Big pitch coming up here, 2-0.
Oh, yeah. How about a grounder here and watch that catcher run? Doesn't have blazing speed, a grounder to the infield, a chance to turn two.
Another smothered foul ball.
Hannigan has grounded into 6 twin killings this year as a red leg.
Dusty, that ever-present toothpick in the corner of his mouth.
Don't try that at home, kids, by the way.
Slider inside, 3-1. Arroyo, the pitcher on deck, remember the last time up, he sent a ball within a few feet of the wall in left field. Stairs had to go on the warning path to make the catch. Runners at first and second. That's in there.
See that last pitch, Torrealba, that ball is moving so much. Watch, he doesn't even catch it in the pocket. It's down to the heel of the glove. Usually they'll catch it in the pocket. That just tells you the movement of Ryan Webb's fastball there.
Normally those are take off, and his dips down. Full count now to Hannigan. Runners lead away with 1 out. Another chopper. Can they get him? Eckstein at least will get the runner there on the force. So there's 2 away as Hernandez pulled up to avoid being tagged, and then a 4-3 double play.
You know why that's a smart play by Eckstein is because the idea there for the Cincinnati runner there, Hernandez, it would be ideal for him to get caught in a pickle because then it gives the chance for the runner at third base to maybe score. So Eckstein gets that ball, he immediately gets the force. Now they have to come up with a 2-out knock. Eck might be talking to Tejada. They're talking hitting or talking defense or what.
Going to have a pinch hitter for Arroyo, Juan Francisco. Dusty Baker making a move here with runners at first and third and 2 out. A home run, 7 RBIs for this left-handed hitter, and that brings Buddy Black out of the dugout, and he has motioned for Joe Thatcher, the southpaw for the Padres. So managerial strategy at work here at Petco with 2 out in the 6th inning and a 2-2 tie. And this pitching change will be brought to you by Discount Tires. Stop by for a free tire inspection and air gauge. Remember, if you aren't happy with one of their tires, feel free to bring it back. Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Joe Thatcher in to pitch, so Dusty Baker makes a double move, calls back Francisco, so he's out of the game, and Miguel Cairo, a right-handed batter, will hit for the pitcher, or now for the pinch hitter Francisco.
Well, last time out for Joe Thatcher was at St. Louis back on Saturday. Through an inning, 8-pitch effort, so he is well rested.
Inherits first and third. A run in on a scratchy inning. Defensively, the Padres tested by some unusual bounces and bloops by the Reds to tie it, and first and third occupied. Thatcher trying to get out of the inning. Barrels a strike down the middle.
And Miguel Cairo's a tough out. Veteran guy off the bench. Can play some third base, can play some first base.
287 on the season. 6 for 33 as a pinch hitter. Knocking in 5 runs. That out of play, and Thatcher quickly jumps in front, 2 strikes. All types. A freak-free environment.
This guy wants to hit.
2-strike pitch, and that's out of play.
How'd that guy get a bat into the ballpark? Oh, it's his cane. How sweet is that? Nice.
One of our Navy stars, veteran.
That's great.
Great to have him here.
Thank you, sir.
Thatcher shaking off Torrealba's signs. 2-strike pitch coming up. Wastes it outside. Inning started when Rolen punched a single to right. Then Gomes hit a little soft pop fly that Gonzalez dropped, but it was called a hit. Hernandez hit one off home plate about 50 feet in the air, and that was another hit. No one out. Ooh. Bad foul tip off the plate umpire. Kerwin Danley knocked backwards with that one.
Yeah, that got him right in the grill.
Dead center. Whoa, that's like a right cross to the jaw. Torrealba going out to kill some time to talk to the pitcher, let Danley's eyes clear.
They knocked him back on his heels.
That's a big man.
Now Todd Hutchison is going to have a talk with Kerwin.
Is there more than one Todd Hutchinson? He seems to be at someone's side, offering care, training to everybody. I mean, he's got a full clubhouse of players, and
that's why he's the best.
And somebody on the field, doesn't matter what they're wearing, what uniform, he's right there. Talk about the good aid man.
Oh yeah, first one at the ballpark, last one to leave, taking care of the players, and of course Paulie Navarro, his assistant.
They'll go out and shag flies before the game just to do something else. All right, here we go. Joe Thatcher. 2 strikes to count. First and third. A run in. The Reds have tied it at 2. Thatcher trying to get out of this squirrely inning. Another chopper. Headley can't get him. Can you believe this inning? Another scratch hit. And the Reds lead 3-2. Unbelievable. Three hits in this inning. One went about 115 feet, and the other's 60 feet. Thatcher couldn't get to it, and there's no chance for Headley. And pretty close at that, but Cairo with the infield scratch. Thatcher out. Padres have relinquished the lead, but Boy, this has been as tough an inning as we've seen in a while. Pitching change brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson. Always country first. Block and Brick. Create your dream yard today. Visit rcpblock.com. Well, it's been a lot of bricks hit by the Reds here in the inning, but they've gone for base hits.
A lot of worm killers, huh? Out in front of home plate. Choppers, high choppers, and multiple base runners for the Redlegs. I mean, Joe Thatcher made a good pitch. Cairo beat him with a little infield single.
And Webb did too.
Yep. And so Luke Gregerson in to stop the bleeding. Usually your seventh inning guy with the lead. But hey, it's getting down to crunch time. Trying to hold the Redlegs at 3 runs here in the 6th.
Hannigan is at second. The pinch hitter Cairo with a swinging bunt single at first. Reds haven't hit the ball hard enough to get him out. Phillips has flied out twice and walked. Runners at first and second, 2 out, 2 in, 3-2 the score. Out in front of a slider. So the Padres have to go to their 7th inning man and out earlier here in the 6th. You've got a lot of extra arms with the call-ups and so much at stake. The Reds in the comfort zone, their magic number down to 3. Well ahead of the Cardinals, 7.5 games up at the start tonight. Padres battling with the Giants and the Rockies. Another foul ball. So 2 strikes as Gregerson. As has been the case the entire inning, the Padre pitchers have been getting ahead on the count.
They're making good pitches.
One and 2 to Phillips. 7th man to bat here in this inning. Started with Rolen single to right and then 3 scratch hits and an error.
Got to keep it at 2 right here. Have to find a way to get out of this inning. Keep it a 1-run deficit. Got 3, 4, 5 due up for the Padres next half inning.
popped up. Gonzalez in foul territory. And finally, the inning comes to an end. 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left. Middle of the 6th, 3-2 for the visitors. If you're a Padre fan, a reminder to stay tuned for the CIN Casino postgame show. And John and Bob standing by in our Channel 4 San Diego studios. CIN Casino, San Diego's vacation getaway. The official score is still muddling through that inning and trying to figure out how to score the play that involved Gonzalez, which appeared to be a double error. Now they're calling it a 2-base error, but no hit. But how do you get on first base then?
Well, right-hander Logan Ondrusek on the pitch here for Bronson Arroyo after his effort. Big, tall drink of water, number 66.
Tejada, Gonzalez, and Ludwig, the middle of the order, with Tony Gwynn now hitting in Matt Stayer's spot. 1-1.
Ondrusek throws a cutter, fastball, curve, slider, and a split. His best pitch is probably that cut fastball. He'll run away to right-handed hitters. Pretty good command from this righty.
Stuck on 4s. He's 4-0 with an ERA of 4.00. Well, there's that height for advantage. Sounded like Tejada splintered another bat. 1 out here in the 6th.
Still kind of baffled at that scoring on that ball off the bat of Gomes in the 6th inning.
Adrian has lined out and popped to short. Hits that one deep but fouled on the left field side. .95 on that fastball by the big right-hander.
Yeah, Andrusic's fastball will probably get about 92, 93. I take that back, about 94, 95.
Yeah, he's getting it up there, 95. Inside, 2-2. He's 6'8".
Yep.
225. Native Texan, born, raised, and lives in Shiner, Texas.
Shiner, Texas. Former Padre pitcher Jeremy Fikach from Shiner, Texas. Also home of Shiner Bock beer. They've grown big in Texas, don't they?
Got to. Outfield deep straight away for Adrian. And he pulls it right at the first baseman. And the unassisted out, 2 away. Yeah, the Padres trying to bounce back from a disheartening top half of the 6th inning. That will draw the life out of you and the spirit out of you. See teams score runs the way the Reds scored the 2 in the top half. But it's a 3-2 game, and one swing and Padres could be back even. Ludwig a fly to right and a strikeout. Late on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Curveball bends outside. 2-1 to Ryan Ludwig. Combined 16 home runs on the year. St. Louis and with the Padres.
A couple of nice breaking balls from Andrusic. Big curveball. That was a tight slider down and away. You can really see how this guy gets the good downward plane, not only on the fastball, but the breaking ball as well. Looks like another breaking ball. Trying to have Ludwig fish for it. He's not biting.
Tony Gwynn on deck. Matt Stairs started. He had a single, and he started that 5th inning with a base hit. And there's ball 4. So the tying run is on. First free pass of the night by Cincinnati pitching.
This may have been a strike. The Padres may have gotten a call on the high slider. According to Trax, it is a strike, but Kerwin Danley says, nope, take your base.
Gwynn batting for the first time tonight. Replaced Stairs as a pinch hitter. Pinch runner and scored. At the time, the go-ahead run 2-1. Hits that ball well, but it's high in the air to right center field, and that gives the outfield plenty of time. Jay Bruce to track it down. No runs, no hits, and a man left. And after 6 here at Petco, it's 3-2 Cincinnati. days melt with a cup of freshly brewed Seattle's best coffee. That's $2.50, folks. Open at 7 a.m. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Cox Digital Telephone. Ready for cheaper calls? Go to Cox.com. So 6 innings in the book. Still puzzled about the scoring in that last inning, and not that it's going to keep us up awake tonight, but they still on that little pop fly off the bat of Johnny Gomes that Gonzalez could not catch and then threw away at second base. The official score has decided that's just an error, but nothing else. A 2-base throwing error. Got to be more to it. Cabrera leads off the Cincinnati 7th. Single and 3 at bats. And Gregerson sends in a strike. Padres used 3 pitchers in that ugly 6th. Webb, Thatcher, and Luke. Quickly ahead, 2 strikes on Cabrera.
And 2 fastballs from Gregerson. He's got a nice little sinker as well. A lot of hitters probably are king on that slider that he throws so often. There it is.
Gregerson's first strikeout.
That was a good old-fashioned uno dos.
Dios.
There it is on the slider. Nicely done. And perfectly placed. See that? It was about 1.5 feet off the plate. Can't get hurt out there.
But it looked like a strike halfway to the plate, didn't it? Difference in the game right now. 2 RBI singles in the 6th inning. Both were infield scratches. One a chopper off the bat of Hernandez. The other a little swinging bunt single by Miguel Cairo, the pinch hitter. 1-1. Two and 1 to Jay Bruce. Singled on the ground, a hopper over the glove of Adrian Gonzalez. That was a precursor of what we saw in the 6th inning. 2-2. He struck out and fly to right. High fly ball. Ludwig. Right fielder has the second out here in the 7th inning. Well, coming up, the San Diego Hyundai dealers 7th inning stretch your dollars. Get more MPG. The assurance of America's best warranty by going to SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com. 5 putouts in right field by Ryan Ludwig tonight. Rolen, he started things in that 2-run last inning with a single to right field. The only ball that was hit well. Just poked it to right field between first and second.
Offered at the high slider there. That one was up and into Rolen. He wanted it down and away. Got in his hands a little bit, not on purpose, but sometimes a mistake pays off for you.
Cool hand. Luke delivers 1 and 2. Does he go around? No. Again, tomorrow, folks, the tickets and your schedule will say it's a night game, but it's been changed to an afternoon game. National TV on Fox. 1:10 is the scheduled start time. You can follow the action on Padres Radio, 1090. Luke wanted that one.
Yeah, I think that ball was off the plate a little bit.
Got it. There's that slider. Second strikeout of the inning for Gregerson. 1-2-3. For only the second time tonight, the Reds retired in order. Stretch them out. It's the 7th inning here at Petco. For locations, visit fandiego.com. For ceiling fans, go to Fan Diego.
Hey, Carrie Fisher's here.
Star Trek night or Star Wars night?
Princess Leia. She's got the cinnamon buns working on the head there. Stormtroopers are here. Fryer's got the Yoda backpack. Trying to fire up the gang. Star Wars bar.
I think that last inning for the Reds was from another galaxy.
Nice. I see where you're going there.
Yeah. Well, bottom of the 7th, a 3-2 game. Giants have won 2-1 at Colorado. Atlanta has lost in Washington. Padres trying to fight back. Bottom third of the order against the lanky 6'8" Logan Andronzek. Torrealba trying to work his way on 2-0. Andrusik retiring the Padres on just a walk in the last inning. He lays in the strike on a fastball. .94 and just clipped back. He was on it, but just got a piece of it. Arthur Rhodes tuning up in the Reds bullpen. That one foul down the right field side. That'll just make it into the first row. 2-2 pitch. Another foul. Crowd tonight of 35,310. We hope you're making plans. 2 more with Cincinnati. Day games tomorrow and Sunday. Then the Cubs in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon. Another foul.
Out in front of the hanging breaking ball, and it's the speed of that pitch that gets hitters out in front. They either pop it up or foul it back, even though it's a hanger.
Another chopper, but Ondrusek is right there to throw out Torrealba for the first out. And here comes Dusty Baker with Chase Headley due. And he may be calling on his veteran left-hander, which will turn Headley around, batting right-handed, where actually he's looked stronger from that right side, although his average wouldn't reveal it. A pitching change brought to you by Discount Tires. Stop by. Free tire inspection and air gauge. Remember, if you aren't happy with one of their tires, you can feel mighty free to bring it back. The 7th, our pitching change brought to you by Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy a wonderful evening. Happy hour 7 days a week. Rhodes' bottom line is a good one, isn't it? 199 batting average against. Crafty left-hander. Headley turned around to bat right-handed.
Hey, he's still flipping it up there, Arthur Rhodes. Fastball, slider, and a change. He's their left-handed specialist. Turning Headley around.
Chris Denorfia moves into the on-deck circle. Will bat for Gregerson. That ball hit well, and will fall into right center field. So Headley, and even though he's barely batting 200 right-handed, you watch him in batting practice, and he just looks like a better hitter right-handed than left-handed the late stages of this season, and he delivers a base hit.
Well, he fought off an Arthur Rhodes fastball on the inside part of the plate, got that front foot down and stayed on it nicely. That is a good-looking swing for Chase Headley. Good for him. Now the go-ahead run comes to the plate.
Denorfia is called back. He was never officially announced, so he's still available. And Nick Hundley has a bat.
Hey, Nick's got some pop in his bat now to create a little excitement here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
7 home runs this year for the Padres catcher. And after Hundley, top of the order, and Will Venable. Venable, who Had 3 of the 5 hits for the Padres last night in Los Angeles. 3 for 3, 2 for 3 tonight. Last of the 7th. The Reds leading the Padres 3-2.
Well, we know how good the bullpen is for the San Diego Padres. Just to put it in perspective, the Reds' ERA collectively for the bullpen, 4.08. That is 9th in the National League.
Fastball at 91, just off the plate. Headley, a good base runner, takes his lead at first with 1 out. Outside, 2-0. Rhodes appearing in his 66th game of the year. Giving up 4 home runs. Ball 3. He's 35,000, urged to rally the Padres. Ball 4. The 61-year-old skipper not pleased with what he's saying. Brings in the veteran Rhodes, gives up a base hit to Headley, and now walks Hundley on just 4 pitches. So first and second, tying run moves into scoring position, and the Padres go back to the top of the order with Will Venable, 2 singles and 3 at-bats. Hitting .500 in the last 14 games. Looks like Luis Durango is going to run for Hundley. So the fastest of the Padres carrying the go-ahead run. With Headley, as we mentioned, good speed in front of him. Venable, who has been platoon throughout the season, facing right-handed pitching, but not many left-handers. Denorfia often, and Cunningham against lefties. Lays off the breaking ball.
Good eye by Will. Arthur Rhodes gets ahead with the fastball down and away. Now he's trying to expand the zone and have the lefty fish after it. That was a slider, but good recognition for Will.
Chases 1-2. Good slider out of the strike zone.
Just enough break, sharp break. Looks like it's going to be a knee-high fastball. And that's tough to lay off. Hung him a slider. No reason to throw him a fastball here. If you are going to throw a fastball here to Will Venable, it's going to be up and out of the zone or off the plate. This is a big breaking ball that catches a lot of the plate. You can tell by the swing of Will, he was fooled by it, and out in front of it, just enough to stay alive, fouling it back.
So with 1 out, the count 1-2. Headley the tying run at second. Pinch runner Durango at first. Ball loose from the Reds bullpen down the right field corner. Ball girl able to go out and collect it. Tried to get him to go after a pitch away.
There's that fastball off the plate. He's not going to throw him a fastball for a strike. That's just my guess. Now he might foul up with a breaky ball. Outfield playing will to go the other way just a little bit. That's why they're pitching him away.
The soft ground ball to short. They'll get one, but that's all as Venable hustles up the line. And the tying run moves to third. Durango erased. Venable safe on the fielder's choice. Headley to third. And David Eckstein comes up. And here comes Dusty Baker rather, to get Arthur Rhodes. There was a Dusty
Yes,
Rhodes.
there was.
Left-handed hitter with the Giants. Polo Grounds hit that short little fly ball home run in the World Series. When was that? 54? Around there. Nick Massett coming in from the bullpen, and our pitching change brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson. Always country first. You can create your dream yard today. Visit rcpblock.com. 8 decisions for this reliever, 4-4. ERA up there at 3.58. At the batting average against, only .230.
Nick Massett throws a fastball, cutter, a slider, curve, and a split. This guy's got a good fastball as well. Mid to upper 90s on that number 1.
Eckstein steps in. Tying run 90 feet away. Venable over at first base with excellent speed. Whoa, almost through the tying run in. A curveball way outside. A good play made by Hannigan to glove it backhanded. Seventh inning, 3-2 Reds. 2-out situation for Eckstein. Runners at the corners. Ball 2. Tejada on deck. He has an RBI single in 3 at-bats tonight. High again. Ball 4. Padre at every pillow with 2 outs in the 7th.
Now pitching coach Brian Price is going out to the mound to have a chat with Massett. All the pressure is on that guy there. Pretty true fastball. He was off with his breaking ball. Eckstein had a good eye taking fastballs out of the zone, 3 straight after the first pitch breaking ball. And we know that Miguel Tejada loves the fastball.
Oh, the hard-throwing Cuban left-hander. They've said he's been throwing a ball up in the 104, 105 range. Will we get to see him?
The Cuban missile. We've heard all the news about Aroldis Chapman the offseason. Now finally getting a chance to possibly see him in a big league ball game right here at Petco Park.
He is really long and lean, isn't he? Bases loaded. Padres trail by 1 here in the 7th. Headley the tying run at 3rd. Ball 1. Venable the go-ahead score at 2nd. Eckstein at 1st. Breaking ball fooled Tejada completely. He was backing out of there and it curved over the inside corner.
You talk about nose to toes and a knee buckler. Tejada takes it right there on the inside corner. And after ball 5, he throws a nasty curveball for a strike.
Then backs him away high and tight with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, it's my favorite pitch. 2-1. The Hurler wants to throw a strike. The batter wants something he can hit. And in this situation, bases loaded. A key pitch in this game. In for a strike. There was the fastball, hard of the plate at the knees.
Yep. Pitcher's pitch. Almost have to think breaking ball here, huh? Although, does Massett want to risk throwing a breaking ball? A, bouncing one, and 2, having to go to full count if he misses with that breaking ball.
The pitcher-batter duel. Time called. Chapman down there warming up, throwing the ball all over the lot. They're having to chase down another errant throw. High chopper foul. It would be poetic justice if one of those bounced for the Padres, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I think if you tallied up all the hits in that 6th inning for the Cincinnati Reds, what do you get, maybe 100 feet? If that?
You're about right. If you count where Rolen's ball landed on the outfield grass. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Tejada. Bases loaded. Ball 3. This could be a pitch that defines this season. And the final 10 games of the pennant run. Full count, bases loaded. Base hit to left field. 1-run scores. 2-run score. Padres lead at 4-3. Tejada delivers.
Are those intense eyes or what? You talk about a big league at-bat. You could have not have placed a ball on a tee right down the center of that plate any better than that pitch there. Tejada is all over it. Lights up the dugout. Lights up Petco Park. Oh, yeah. There's a pennant drive going on here, folks. You betcha.
A 36-year-old kid, Miguel Tejada. He's knocked in 3 of the runs tonight, and the Padres have the lead 4-3. And we're going to see the big, hard-throwing left-hander, Chapman, against Gonzalez. At least they waited and waited for this young man before bringing him up to the big club. They wanted him to gain some experience. They just signed him last year after the season, right?
Yep. Signed a 6-year contract through 2015 this offseason.
He's appeared in 10 games with the big club, just 8 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 7 hits and walked only 3 and struck out 11 in the 8 innings plus. Well, this is an extra treat to see this young fella.
He was named the top left-handed pitcher in the 2007 Baseball World Cup.
That was here, wasn't it?
So live and in person, the hard-throwing left-hander, Chapman.
He's 6'4", lanky 185, and he'll face the Padres' top hitter, Gonzalez, who has popped up, lined out, and grounded out tonight. Padres with 2 here in the 7th to take the lead 4-3, but they got a couple men aboard. Tejada at first. Eckstein at second. .101.
Hear the crowd after the speed went up on the auxiliary scoreboard. That is a live fastball.
To a fastball hitter. .102. Listen to that crowd as it's posted up on the scoreboard out there in left field, where they mark all the pitches and the speed of pitches.
This is a modern day Sid Finch. Is this kid for real? I guess he is.
.103.
He's changing speeds on his fastball.
101, 102, and 103 mile-an-hour fastballs. 1, 2, 3. Chapman literally blowing down Adrian Gonzalez, but Tejada, his single has given the Padres the lead. Almost as if Tejada was singing the lyrics after that 2-run single. 2-hit night and 3 RBIs for Miguel.
How about what Miguel Tejada has brought to this ball club? Did you see the reaction? It was a great shot of following him down the line, getting to first base, and everybody up on that top step, giving him the spotlight. He has brought so much to this club and this clubhouse. It's rubbing off.
Yeah, the 2 senior citizens, Tejada and Matt Stairs, their leadership and their play by example and their passion for this game, undeniable. Mike Adams comes in, so Buddy Black has worked things around as he's juggled the pitching to finally get to the gab. The talk of the bullpen around the league is Gregerson, now Adams in the 8th, and then Bell to close it out in the 9th. Adams goes to work. Some tough outs. First pitch strike at 93. After what we saw from Chapman, that looked like a changeup.
I was thinking right along with you. Man, was that some electric stuff or what?
Gomes has flied out, popped up, and he had that little soft looper that Gonzalez was unable to catch. And we still don't know how to score it, as the official scorer has called that a 2-base throwing error. But you've got something has to happen before you have a 2-base throwing error. Either it was a hit or Gonzalez has given 2 errors. They'll sort it out, I suppose. Gomes down 2 strikes. Another chopper. Headley. Safe. Another one. Another infield hit for the Reds. We've seen a lot this year, but no inning or game like this.
Yes, he beats it out. It was a short hop to Adrian Gonzalez. Chase on the run. Oh, you know what? Boy.
Close.
Yeah, that first angle looked totally different. Boy, what a great perspective that second shot. Very close.
Chase unable to get himself in a position to throw on the first or second step. He had to take that extra stride, a third stride, and that's enough for Gomes to have his second scratch hit. So the tying run on to lead off the 8th, and here's Ramon Hernandez. Remember, he chopped one off home plate for an infield hit in that 2-run 6th. Remarkable. Padres is making good pitches, fooling the Reds hitters. They get enough bat on the ball to hit little wedges on the infield for hits. Hernandez, a 3-0-1 hitter, has flied twice to right and then had that infield chop to knock in a run.
See, and that's why when we talk about hits to innings pitched and how many hits a pitcher gives up, they can be skewed a little bit because, okay, well, what kind of hits have they been? Were they rockets to the wall? Were they rockets to the gap? Or were they little infield choppers like we saw the last couple innings?
Adams allowing a batting average against of only 190. By the way, the 2 runs scored in that inning are unearned, which means that there's got to be another error on the play that Gomes hit
I don't understand it either.
Gonzalez. Eighth inning, 4-3 Padres. They battle back, but then another infield hit has a tying run aboard to lead off the 8th for Cincinnati. Finally hit one hard enough. There's one. Back to first. Double play. Tejada to Eckstein to Gonzalez. They'll wipe out the runner, and there's 2 gone in the 8th. Finally, a chopper with enough steam on it to get to an infielder.
Absolutely, and plenty of time to turn it because Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, gets him by 2 full steps. He does not have blazing speed. Good, solid baseball slide into second base by Gomes.
That was a good angle to appreciate what a second baseman goes through in making that pivot and throw to first base. Now that runner barreling down on him, Johnny Gomes, and he's got to elude that high slide and be able to make an accurate throw. We take those for granted. Under pressure every time to convert a double play ball, that second baseman. Shortstop has it a little easier because he's crossing facing that runner. Often the second baseman has his back to the play until he has the ball.
Yep.
Stubbs homered off starter Chris Young, the only run that Young allowed. 1 run, only 3 hits, 3 walks for the big right-hander in his 3rd appearance of the season. Stubbs a home run, a walk, and struck out. Strike 2. Well, the fans have enjoyed it tonight. It's been a terrific game dramatically. 35,000. High pop-up. Second baseman Eckstein, right fielder Ludwig. It's Eckstein. Inning over. No runs a hit, no one left thanks to the double play. Bottom of the 8th we go, 4-3 Padres.
Out there again. Aroldis Chapman. Let's check out the Carl's Jr. pitch track versus Adrian Gonzalez. Right down the dish. 101. Up and in. 102. Right down the middle. 103. I think Chapman not only has a live arm, but he's very familiar with these digs here at Petco Park. Remember, it was 2009 when he pitched right here in the World Baseball Classic. This kid is something special. 22 years old.
Yeah, and the media guide, when they describe his career highlights for the Cuban national team, one of the headline notes in there is he delivered a pitch up to 102 miles an hour. Well, we just saw one 101, 102, 103 to Gonzalez in 3 straight. Here's Ludwig. Foul. Watch out. Oh, that one got back into the second tier in a hurry. Ludwig has flied to right, struck out, and walked tonight. Heath Bell throwing in the bullpen for San Diego. He'll be in the 9th. Anything in the 90s, we're going to call a changeup.
Okay, sounds good. He has not hit the double digits yet. Everything's been triple digits.
Of course, he was highly sought after defecting from Cuba, and there was a lot of money on the table, and he raked in the chips. And at 22, the Reds feel they've got someone who's going to be around a long time. That ball is hit well, though, to center field, very deep. Back goes the center fielder. Oh, my. Oh, Drew Stubbs in the night air of San Diego is able to track it down at the warning path. That ball crushed by Ludwig.
You hear it all the time when a guy throws as hard as Chapman. He's supplying all the power. You get the head of that bat out in front, and it just dies about 5 feet from the wall. Ryan Ludwig put a good swing on it.
Tony Gwynn steps in. Tony entered the game as a pinch runner back in the 5th inning and scored, then came up, fly to right field in the 6th.
Ooh, look out. That got the umpire, I think.
104 off the plate. The Cuban Superman, faster than a speeding bullet. You better hope he has good control.
Oh, yeah.
A ball and 2 strikes on Tony Gwynn.
You know, we talked about kids getting drafted and going through the minor leagues and riding the buses, and oh, it's so tough riding the buses and all those long bus rides. Walk a mile in this kid's shoes. This kid defected from Cuba when he was in Rotterdam, having to go to the to declare political asylum, right? Or what's the word I'm looking? And
you know, the ambassador,
right? The ambassador when he was in Rotterdam. I mean, you talk about shaking in your boots. I mean, that's
not
pretty gnarly.
That language.
That's pretty gnarly stuff.
1-2 the count. And Gwynn able to foul it off.
And I'm sure he's got
104 again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got family back in Cuba, and you know, you always have to take that into consideration.
He established residence in the Principality of Andorra, making him a free agent eligible to be signed by a major league team. And they were all knocking on his door. Most of them. With check in hand.
$105.
That's the reaction of the crowd. They're watching Chapman, and then their eyes are all riveted on that scoreboard radar. Acknowledgement of the velocity of this young guy. Never seen anything like it. I've watched Nolan Ryan throw a few no-hitters. Even the men in the dugout oohing and awing. Two and two to Gwynn. Able to get his bat on it.
Yep. I don't think we've seen a breaking ball yet, have we? Everything's been up above 100.
Just imagine when he develops a changeup and a slider with that kind of fastball.
Yeah.
Illegal. Strike 3 call. lit up a little on a 102. Second strikeout for Chapman. And after the long out by Ludwig to center and the strikeout, Tony Gwynn, here's Yorvi Torrealba. Single in 3 at-bats tonight.
Probably asking yourself, how could this kid have lost in Cuba? His total is 24-19 while pitching for Holguin, Cuba. The team there for 4 years, 06 to 09.
Well, that meant he was pitching at 17, 18, 19
right.
years old, just a kid. Ball 1. He hasn't thrown one under 100 yet.
16th pitch, too, Dick. All 100 or above.
Folks, you're looking at the definition of phenom. Well, let's see now. 3-0 behind on the count. He'll just aim in an automatic here, don't you think? About 95?
Yeah, let's see if he eases up a little bit and just tries to throw a strike here, 3-0. Hey,
104, ball 4. Torrealba given a free pass. Brings up Chase Headley batting right-handed. Headley left-handed, struck out and flied deep to right, and right-handed single to right, and that set up the 2-run 8th inning, and he scored the tying run with Venable coming home with the go-ahead score on the 2-run single, 2 outs, 3-2 pitch to Tejada. Well, this has happened to Chapman. He's only pitched a few games, but wherever he goes, boy, everybody just crowds around, especially in the dugouts, to get a good look at this kid. .100.
There's the changeup. Tell you what, the next carnival I'm going to, I'm asking him to go. I'm going to go home with some stuffed animals.
You imagine what he'd do to those milk bottles? Out of play. I mean, you'd have to be wearing a helmet anywhere within 50 yards of those milk bottles. All that being said, and how impressive his velocity is, Ludwig really hit a ball hard to about 390 foot out to straightaway center to open this inning. You get out in front somehow of that fastball, you should be able to give it a pretty good hike. Torrealba was going on the pitch, but time had been called. Fans didn't realize it.
Yeah. And did you see Yorvi was just making sure that time was called. He didn't want to be deked by one of the middle infielders.
Right.
Hey, that'll happen. A live ball, short side. Hey, dude, it was foul ball. Oh, really? Yeah, foul ball. Goes back to first base, tag him out. Believe me, it's happened.
Looking ahead to the top of the 9th inning, it'll be Hannigan, the pitcher's spot, and leadoff man Brandon Phillips for the Reds.
Got him at 95 on the gun going over to first base.
I don't know what Chapman has in his jaw, but he can masticate with the best of them. Look at him work that. I hope it's gum.
Kind of tough to tell. He's working it, though.
2-2. Runner goes. Foul back by Headley. Torrealba will U-turn and head back to first. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, the Giants at Colorado tonight. Another great pitching performance for San Francisco staff. That's 18 consecutive games. They've allowed 3 runs or less, the longest such streak in the live ball era, going back to 1920. So they'll remain in first place. Foul back. Padres need a win to stay within a half game. Should they win tonight, they will have the edge on Atlanta. They'll move a half game ahead of the Braves for the wild card. Reds magic number 3 with the Cardinals in second place, 7.5 back. Broken back ground ball. And they'll get the force as Scott Rolen goes to the second baseman, Phillips. And here comes the bell ringer, Heath Bell, to try to save it. A huge game for the Padres. It's 4-3 to the 9th. Enter Heath Bell here in the 9th. Padres 4, Cincinnati 3. He'll face Hannigan. Joey Votto, who has been suffering with sinus problems, missed the last 2 games, didn't start tonight, but he has a bat and had moved into the on-deck circle. So apparently he will bat second and then the top of the order. Votto among the top 3 in the Triple Crown columns, batting, home runs, and RBIs. Chris Denorfia enters the game in left field. Venable moves over to right. So Venable has played all 3 outfield positions tonight. So the outfield reads Denorfia in left, Wynn in center, Venable in right. Lots of speed out there to chase down a fly ball. Brian Hannigan has walked, grounded out, and safe on a fielder's choice tonight. Slap foul. Bell, inspired by what he's seeing from out the bullpen, guns one at 95.
Boy, this has been one heck of a ball game, huh?
Well, down to the final precious few games. The drama is thick. 35,310 to enjoy it here at Petco Park in San Diego. They are the really interested spectators. High 1-1. Bell has come to call himself in self-deprecating terms the drama king. Not able to come in and get the 1-2-3. Allows that tying run on so often. And pitches out of it. Ground ball into right field for a base hit. Into shallow right off the glove of Gonzalez. And Adrian's had a little trouble with that Gold Glove tonight. Dropped the bloop fly ball. This one is hit hard. And just eluded his reach. A ball that 9 out of 10 times he's able to glove. It's ruled a hit.
Willie Bloomquist going into pinch run for Hannigan.
Bloomquist carrying the tying run, and here's Joey Votto. Folks, here is one of the super talents in the National League. Second to Albert Pujols in home runs. Second to Carlos Gonzalez in batting average at .323. He's actually tied with Dunn coming in tonight in home runs with 35. At third behind Carbo and Pujols in RBIs. Falls behind 0-2. If the Padres can survive this game with so many scratch hits by the Cincinnati Reds, it should be a boost. But can they get around Votto? 2 strikes. Got him. 3 strikes. 3 pitches. 1 away.
Kept the ball away, stayed to his strength. 95 off the plate, but a tough pitch to lay off for Joey Votto when you've got 2 strikes on you. A huge out.
Top of the order, Brandon Phillips. A walk, a couple of fly ball outs, and a foul out for Brandon. Infield looks for a chance at 2. Goes to the curveball.
Hey, this game has been playoff type atmosphere. I mean, a low scoring game, big plays all the way around. We've seen some good pitching. We've seen a long ball tonight early in the game. We've seen the Padres produce a couple runs in the 7th. Pressure packed. Hopefully it's like this October 5th and 6th.
Dusty Baker's team solid in first place in the Central. The Padres trying to hang close to the Giants in the West. There goes the runner, and a fly ball hit to center field. Hit well, but Gwynn is there. 2 away. That ball was hit hard. Reds down to their final out as Orlando Cabrera scheduled to hit. Cabrera a single in 4 trips tonight. In a game where the Reds have a half dozen scratch hits, Phillips just drills a ball to center field, a tee shot for an out. I wonder if the forefathers of this game had it all figured out this way. Oh, Bell. Fans standing as you check out the far regions of Petco Park. 1 out away from a much-needed victory. Tying run at first. Ball 1. Bell, who led the National League in saves a year ago with 42, has surpassed that this year with 43. Ground ball to third. Headley has it. Padres win. Save number 44 for Bell. And Miguel Tejada's bases-loaded single in the 7th inning. As the Padres collaborate, rally from behind twice tonight, and stay within a half game of the National League West division-leading San Francisco Giants. Now, this was a terrific baseball game, especially, I suppose, if you're a Padre fan. Take a deep breath. We'll be right back with the final totals. San Diego wins it 4-3 in San Diego. Petco Park, mission accomplished.